Now, during his recent trip to China towards the end of last year, US President Barack Obama made a point of praising free and uncensored internet access during a town hall-style meeting with students. And while the Western press often delight in referring to China's censorship, the issue may now be more than just a debate over free speech. In today's BON feature, we hear from one Chinese analyst who fears that China's continued media restrictions could test already strained trade relations between China and the US.
It's not the best start to the day to wake up and find that your favorite websites are no longer accessible. Unfortunately, that's what China's internet users have to face amidst the government's recent crackdown on what's deemed illegal material. At least 700 websites have been shut down or blocked in recent weeks. That's already on top of tens of thousands of foreign online services that have been inaccessible, including YouTube, Facebook, and most recently IMDb, a movie information site.
The best way is just we can check, we can see whatever we want, right? Everything is open to us. But now it doesn't seem like that.
Shutting down websites is among several methods the government is using to censor the internet. Individuals have also been banned from registering new domain names in China. The move will affect domains ending in .cn, which need to be linked to a registered company. And instead of a blacklist of banned sites, the government intends to create a whitelist of approved sites, whereby all foreign sites would need to register with the government in order to avoid being blocked. One thing that China's internet users do have in their favor is their ability to influence policy on major issues. Vocal majorities on forums and blogs have helped shape government decisions on everything from housing to drunk driving. But Forbes columnist Gordon Chang says the new regulations would effectively mean China has downgraded from an internet to an intranet. Professor Hu Xingdou from the Beijing Institute of Technology also has some concerns.
If the internet becomes an intranet where Chinese just amuse themselves online, it won't be good for free speech on the internet, anti-corruption work, or the supervision of people, the internet and the media. This kind of censorship will also greatly damage China's international image.
The suggestion is that controls over the internet are getting tighter in China, but it's not just about restriction of speech. Some say it's spilled over into the commercial realm, with those actions damaging foreign businesses and revenues. According to the Wall Street Journal, the recent crackdown may well violate China's WTO commitments. When it joined the trade body in 2001, China agreed to give unlimited access and equal treatment to foreign-owned businesses, including online services. A recent WTO ruling on books, music and movies went against China, and the government will be keen to avoid another such case. Professor Hu recognizes the thinking behind the government's policy, but concedes there are protectionist aspects to the censorship campaign.
It's necessary for the Chinese government to regulate the internet. It mainly concerns pornographic sites, but also involves commercial infringement of intellectual property rights, fraud sites, as well as some politically sensitive websites. For websites that infringe commercial or IPR laws, regulation is necessary, but it shouldn't affect normal commercial and business activities. As for politically sensitive websites, so long as the sites don't promote violence, terrorism or separatism or undermine ethnic solidarity, I don't think they should be banned to protect people's right to free speech.
China has spoken publicly about its commitment to censorship. Minister for Public Security Meng Jianzhu wrote an essay on the importance of control in which he said China needed to do a better job limiting the use of the web and social media to organize anti-corruption and other protests. But Professor Hu says China must eventually abide by the WTO rules. But by Western standards, at any rate, internet freedom still seems a long way off for China. And Professor Hu predicts another tough year for trade relations between China and the US.
I think this year could be the year that trade and political frictions become extremely serious between China and the United States. Some people are warning of a large regression in Sino-US relations, due in part to China's strict internet censorship and tight free speech restrictions. This will prompt the United States to criticize China over human rights and cause the Obama government to change its China policy. The indirect impact is likely to be huge.
But despite a gloomy outlook for the coming year, Professor Hu is confident that the censorship situation in China will improve.
In terms of more strict internet controls, it's just a temporary thing. One step backward today will be 2 steps forward tomorrow. I think the government will continue to ease restrictions on free speech in general, which is good for the modernization of China.
So restrictions on the internet and on freedom of speech here in China, obviously very different to what they are in the West.
Right.
But the fact that Professor Hu spoke to you and came out with some quite strong comments there, evidence in itself of the progress that's been made. Maybe 5 or 10 years ago, he wouldn't have felt comfortable speaking to you so openly.
Exactly.
So an indication of change there.
Right. Well, don't go anywhere. We have question of the day next.